Continuing on talking about TDES, I wanted to get into the actual process, not the theory of how it's supposed to work, but the actual process that we see playing out in buildings. Because here's the truth, that a lot of teachers being evaluated don't fully understand. And when you don't fully understand the TDES system, you can't protect yourself in it. So I want to be very clear. First, you cannot wait until the end of the year to fix your evaluation. For your formal announced and your unannounced observation, the work happens before the meeting, not after it. You don't go argue your way to a better score at the end. You build your evaluation through the process. That means you need to know the timelines, what your evaluator is required to do, and what you're required to do. Because this isn't their evaluation, it's your process. Second, you have to treat the formal announced like it matters, because it does. You need to walk into that lesson with a plan to show the rubric, not hope that it shows up. That means you have to have clear objectives. You have to have student engagement. You have to have checks for understanding. You have to have evidence of student thinking. You're not guessing. You're demonstrating. And you're hoping that your evaluator shows you in your best light and isn't trying to play gotcha with you. The honest truth is that TDES evidence submission in the portal and through uploads does take a while. You have to make time to type this out. And for those that have to argue their evaluations every time, you know you needed to have that evidence. The members who have administrators that are looking for evidence the teacher is the best don't always have to have that. But many administrators aren't trying to show that their teacher is the best. They're trying to show developing. Now, if your evaluator doesn't recognize it in the moment, that's where the next part comes in. Your evidence, and evidence matters. Having a discussion about your post-conference is important. But if you disagree with your rating, you must go to review within 10 days. And understand this, at review, there is no conversation. The reviewers haven't seen your classroom. They're not hearing your explanation. They're only looking at evidence that was submitted by your evaluator, the evidence you entered into the portal, and your uploaded artifacts. And they're scoring it strictly against the TDES rubric. So you have to build your case before you get there. Write clearly what you did. Document what may have been missed. Upload artifacts that directly match the rubric. You cannot submit very little, have a post-conference go poorly, and then try and fix it afterward. By then, it's too late. Here's the reality that I'm seeing across the district. When teachers submit strong evidence and use the review process, they're coming out the winner. That's real, but only if you use the system. And that brings me to the biggest mistake that I've been hearing about now. People are skipping the process. They didn't add evidence. They didn't track timelines. They didn't push back when something isn't done correctly. And then they try and fix it all at the end. But by then it's too late. You have to engage early. You have to engage consistently. And yes, some buildings have a strong TDES system, others don't. TDES teams are made by the principal and the chapter chair. Some work better than others. I know that. So I'm here to support you. I'm building out a series now of practical short videos with the help of other members of our executive board that detail how to navigate this process exactly, step by step, especially if you're a building where the support isn't there. Because this isn't about playing games. It's about protecting your career. So know the process, use the process, document your work, and when necessary, fight your evaluator the right way.